How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to unbox another product sent to me from Games Workshop as a promotional item. This is going to be similar to Warhammer 40k Kill Team, but this time is for Age of Sigmar and its name is Warcry. This is a pretty big and heavy box and I'm pretty excited about it. Like the starter set for Kill Team, it got sold out and everyone was looking for it. I think there's a great value on getting these starter boxes. So different from Warhammer 40k, I think this is going to be a more fantasy-oriented game, not so much sci-fi, science fiction. But I think this is a little bit more magical and a little bit more sorcery and stuff like that, and close combat. I think I would expect that from this game. I don't know yet. The box, it says to contain everything you need to start playing, and that's very exciting. And I think this is a great value because of all of the terrain that is inside it. You could also use the mat and the terrain to play Warhammer 40k Kill Team if you wanted. It is the same size. The ruins might be from an old world if you like. There's a ton of things you can do with this set. And if you're going to start playing Age of Sigmar or 40k, you can also use this terrain to start building up your table. It contains a rulebook, a game board, all of the cards for starting the game, the ability cards, the stat cards. It contains 2 factions of miniatures, 2 warbands, one the Iron Golems and the Untamed Beasts. One is more like beastmen or barbarians, and the other one is like coordinate guys with axes and like berserkers or something like that. It also contains monsters, so I don't know how those will interact or who will control them. And it also has the ruined terrain, which is plenty. If you see the back of the box, it has a ton of terrain and it pretty much fills the whole board. So let's stop talking about it and let's open it up on the table. So this is it. This is the box. It's a pretty big box. It's like 2 starter boxes stacked together almost. It's pretty tall and it's very heavy. I can barely hold it with just one hand, so it's pretty heavy. And if we turn it around, we can take a look at what it's supposed to have inside. It has a pretty big piece of terrain that almost covers the board entirely. That is 22 by 30. The same size for Warhammer 40k Kill Team. And it has 2 warbands, it has some monsters, it has the ruined terrain, it has the rulebook, it has a ton of cards and tokens, and that's it. I'm going to start opening this box right now with my trusty X-Acto blade. Here we go. Alright, so let's open it, let's see what's inside. Hard to open. There we go. Okay, so immediately I see that it doesn't have any colored plastic like the other Kill Team box has. And colored plastic to me is not a big problem. Some people think that it's different. I don't think it's any different from normal plastic. I think it only has a little bit of pigment and it does look different, but I think it's the same thing. I may be wrong, but it's a ton of plastic. We'll take a look at it a little bit more closely later, but I can see some wings, some sort of gargoyle type kind of things. This looks like the Barbarians sprue. I see more wings. I see more. I think these might be the Iron Golems. Monster sprues, I think. A lot of sprues. And this one's the terrain. And these are creatures and miniatures. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 small sprues. And we have a bunch of sprues of terrain. We have ruins and we have the spiky wooden stakes and wood terrain. And we have here we have ruins, we have arches and gates, and lots of gates, and wooden floors and stone. We have a bell of some sorts. Here we have some wooden stairs right here, and a lot of stuff. I shouldn't go in detail here because I'm just showing it real quick. I'll take a more detailed look later. But this one seems to be a copy, repeat. The same sprue twice. And then we have a big piece of terrain with a big face on it, like some sort of ruined head that is pretty big. Like some sort of ruined statue or something, with more wood, stakes, and I don't know, that's it. So that's it for all of the plastic. It's a lot of plastic, and we'll take a look at it a little bit more detailed in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to look what else is in the box. So inside this box, we are going to have some artwork like we do on all of these starter set. This one is completely fine. Most of the time I get them with some damage, but this one's fine. This one's great actually. This one is completely unharmed. And here we have the mat and tokens. The tokens are very unique. I think the kill team ones are a little bit vague. They don't tell you exactly what they mean. You kind of have to assume, I think. But these look pretty nice. So we have one token sheet, and it's double-sided, of course, and it has different meanings depending on which side you put them on, I think. I think we would know what they are once we get into the rulebook. And the mat is here. It's only folded 4 times, like the one that came in the starter set for Kill Team. The new ones that come on the different kill zones come folded 8 times. This one is just 4 times. I think that's good because it won't get damaged as easily, maybe. It has 2 sides. It has a desert kind of theme on one side with some ruined floors. And the other side is a little bit more gloomy, a little bit more blue and dark. It looks a little bit like the realm of death or something like that, with some teal or greenish blue ruined floors and overtaken by dirt. But yeah, both sides look pretty good. My favorite, I think, is this one. And I'm going to leave it here just because I like it. What else do we have inside? We have some cards. And each one is labeled for whatever they are. These are the battlefield cards. And what I understood from this game is that it has different kind of making the deployment and deciding on the mission. It has these kinds of cards that have a terrain arrangement that is predetermined for you, that you can start playing on them. Just kind of do the same thing and play different scenarios depending on the cards that you draw, such as open war in Warhammer 40k. I think that's a neat idea. I really like that set of cards because I didn't have to really think about it too much whenever I started playing. I just drew cards, and that would set up the mission to play and the twist and everything you need to do on that particular game, and that's pretty nice. Next is the deployment cards, and it's a big stack of cards too, so let's open it up. These ones are for determining the kind of deployment and who deploys where, so that's good, and it kind of gives you an idea of making this game as random as possible, and it's not always going to be the same battle, and it's not always going to be the same objectives, so it's going to change a lot, and depending on your list, you have to be prepared for everything. Next, we have the twist cards, and this is going to be a battlefield twist. I don't know what it means exactly, but in open war, it was just some special rule that it will change the way the game is played for everyone, and it would be independent from the objective and the deployment and everything like that. So let's open it up. So here they are. I have this one as an example. It's called Bloodwind, and it adds 1 to the attacks and strength characteristics of all fighters this battle with 1 or more damage points allocated to them. So the miniatures that are hurt are going to be a little bit better in combat, or a lot better in combat, I don't know. But these ones affect different circumstances of the battle, independent from the objective and everything like that. So this one's the fighter and divider deck. Let's see what's inside. So this one contains the rules for every miniature that is in the game. It's pretty similar to the way of the layout on Warhammer Age of Sigmar. They have this little circle with the movement, and I think this might be wounds. I don't know what this is, but this will be explained in the rulebook. And rather than having any words, it just have images that kind of explain what it is. That we have this, I think this is range combat, maybe close combat, and the toughness and maybe the wounds. I don't know. I would need to really get into the rules and read them. And then here we have some divider cards. I don't know what they are for, but you can use those. Next we have these cards that are the ability cards, and they appear to be for both factions. And this might explain the abilities they have depending on the symbols in here. And we also have the universal abilities in cards and some chaotic beasts abilities on the other side, which are the same, I think. So that's it. We have this code that you can scan to read a Warcry novel. The other starter sets contained a little bit of a starter novel so that you can start getting into the universe. This one apparently doesn't. You have to go online to get it. And this is the big rulebook. It's pretty similar in size to the one you get on Warhammer Kill Team. I think it's pretty much the same size as the core rulebook for Kill Team, and there also appears to be on the backside a little bit of how to put together the set. So I'm going to start with the book that tells you how to build stuff, and I'm going to look through it. You can see that it labels everything that you should have on your box, and all of the base sizes and all of it for all of the miniatures, how they should go together and in what order. And it goes for every faction and every miniature in the set, both the monsters, the factions, and the terrain pieces. And it also has a guide on the colors you should use to paint them. We have another book with just a couple pages. It says what's in this box, and it explains what is everything that you have on this box again, and how to set up, how to battle, attack, and all of this. I think these are quick rules that you can kind of study to have a really quick game. And I think that should be it. This is a rule summary so that you can have it handy, and you can look at it in case you have any questions. Cool. I forgot to open this packet right here, and this is pretty much the victory cards, and I would say they are the objectives for the game. Depending on what kind of game you're playing, this is going to tell you how you win the game. And these pretty much are going to describe the way you win the battle and the objective pretty much of the game, and who wins the game and how you do it. And there's a ton of them. I don't know. There's a ton of cards for each deck. So I think this is going to give a lot of variety to the games, and no games are going to be the same. So this is the book, and this is pretty similar to the size of the Warhammer Kill Team book, and it's pretty much the same size. It feels very weighty, and it's the core rulebook. It's pretty much the only thing you're going to need to play games of Warcry. Right now, I don't think we have that many factions. We have the Iron Golems, we have the Untamed Beasts, the Corvus Cabal, the Cypher Lords, the Unmade, the Splintered Fangs, Scions of the Flame, Spire Tyrants, and that's it. And I think they are plenty. They're okay to start. But there's a lot of factions of Age of Sigmar that we're not going to see in this book probably. We might get rules for other factions in the future, or we might get more starter sets for more factions or newer, or the ones that already exist. But here you can see in Secrets of Power section all of the miniatures so that you can see how they are painted and how they are supposed to look. The Iron Golems and the Untamed Beasts are both sets that come in this starter set. Those both warbands. And then we have the Cypher Lords, the Corvus Cabal. We have the Splintered Fang, the Unmade, and I think that's going to be it for this book. Because we haven't seen the other ones released yet, I think. And then we have a section of how to play Warcry, and this is going to give us all of the real rules that we need to know to start playing. And some things are similar to Warhammer Age of Sigmar, such as we told before, as the layout of the stat cards. And I think some general rules are going to take a lot from Age of Sigmar, but I don't know yet because I haven't played. And it has some unique rules. We have rules for open play, match play, and narrative play as well. We have a campaign section, so we have rules for campaign. For campaigns, we have narrative missions and stuff like that. And we also have, in the end section, I thought I saw that we have some world building options to put to your warband, such as names and names, last names, origins, and stuff like that, so that you can customize your story and your factions to be the way you want it to be. And that's it. That's it for the book. And I look forward to really reading it a lot and understanding the rules and maybe play some games. Hopefully, I've been looking into ways to do more battle reports more efficiently. And I'm going to try and do some battle reports in the future, so stay tuned for that. Lastly, in the box we have the bottom part of the box. We can take this out. And here we just have bases, dice. These are the dice, and they're different colors. I don't know why, but it's cool. We have a lot of baggies to put on stuff, such as counters and carts if you want. And we have some oval bases and some bigger bases for special characters, maybe, I think. And that's it. We're going to take a look at the models from a little bit closer, and we're going to end the video like that. So we're going to start to look at the sprues at random, pretty much, the way I took them out, and I'm going to show you what's in their sprue. We have these kinds of beasts. I think these are the monsters that we're going to look in. I think this is one of the monsters that we're going to look in the game, and you can see the amount of detail is pretty good. Games Workshop has been getting very good at doing their sprues. We have some pieces here and there. I think this is for the Untamed Beasts. We have some flails. We have some bare-chested guys like barbarians. They look pretty cool. In my opinion, they look pretty good, and yeah, I would really look forward to painting them. They look cool. I don't have the pressure that I have to paint a whole army of them. I don't know which faction they belong to in Age of Sigmar. They might belong to one, I don't know. But they don't seem, I haven't seen them before, so that's weird. And next sprue, we have some feathers and some sort of clawed feathers. And some sort of bodies. Here we have one of the big guys from the Iron Golems. And we have a big pole. I think there's some sort of banner or something. We have big shield with chains. And we have a lot of stuff. We have some sort of a hammer. And more chains with a morning star at the end. This looks like a nunchuck or something. This is weird. And more... hammers, bodies, chains. These look a little bit like Khorne Bloodbound, but I don't think they have any other than they look chaos, and they have this kind of pointed star. I don't think they are god specific, or maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't read about them. but they don't seem like they are any god-specific chaos faction. Here we have another sprue that is pretty much the same as the one before, and it might be a copy of the other one, and they look pretty similar. I think they are the same. We have another sprue, and this one looks also for the iron golems. We have hammers or some sort of, I don't know if this is an axe or a hammer, but it might be either. And we have some shields, some a lot of chains and stuff. They look pretty cool. More, I think they look like gargoyles or something, these like winged creatures. And a little bit more of the same one that we saw on the other sprue. These look different. This looks like gargoyles. They might be something else. I'm not really sure, but they look pretty cool. If they're made out of stone, they're going to be pretty easy to paint. Next, we have more sprues, and these are going to be for the beast guys. Yeah, they look pretty good, especially this guy right here. They look like barbarians, some sort of a beastmen kind of thing, but they're not beasts, they're barbarians. And the last sprue that has miniatures, I think is going to be a copy of one that we've already seen, and it's this one here. Yeah, they look pretty similar. I think they are the same sprue, and pretty much it has the same thing. It has the gargoyles. I think it has one here, a little one there. I think it has 3, and then it has another 3, it might be 6, I don't know. And this creature right here, I don't know what it is, but there it is. Then the part that I'm really more interested about is the terrain. And I'm very interested to looking at it. And as far as I can see, it doesn't look as difficult to paint as you might think. It only has a couple colors. It only has mostly the brown for the wood. And for the stonework, it has like this greenish, teal kind of color. With a wash and a dry brush, is going to look pretty good. We would only need to pick out the chains and skeletons and stuff like that, because there's a ton of skeletons in here, and in the decorations they are like tied to the barricade. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty nice. And here we have one sprue. The second sprue, we have some ruins and some metal work. We might need to paint this in a different color, but most of this is going to be just one color, I think. With a wash and a dry brush, it's going to look perfect. And it's a lot of stone and some woodwork in the stone like this. And you can take your time and pick out the details, but I don't think it's going to be worth it, or even, I don't think it even makes sense, because most of the work could be like just stonework. So I don't think it's going to be different colors. You could paint it different colors, but I don't think it's necessary. And for this sprue that we just saw, we have a second one that it's pretty much the same one. It's a copy of it. And then we have other 2 sprues that are the same. So I'm just going to show you one. And this has a lot of stonework like the other one, but this has closed walls with no line of sight to the inside, so you can't see. There's a little bit of shooting in this game, I think, if this is anything like Age of Sigmar. So line of sight, blocked terrain, I don't know how important it's going to be. But if you want to play this in Warhammer 40k, so you have some line of sight blocking, that's good. But for the most part, it looks very nice. It looks like a very old, ruined city. And the detail is very nice, very crisp. And I'm looking forward to painting it. I think it's going to look pretty good. And we have 2 of those for more ruins. And then we have 2 unique sprues. We have this one with the face and the head of a giant kind of statue that maybe fell down and then crumbled. And then we have some woodwork here and there, so with some skulls, maybe. I think that's a skull. There we go. There's a skull. There's some more wooden floors, wooden fences, and some stairs. There we are. Some stairs. And the last sprue we have is this one. This one has a bell. You can see it here. It looks very iconic for Warhammer 40k with the traditional skull and the decoration. It looks a little bit 40k-ish if you ask me. And it has some more woodwork, some wood floors, a smaller set of stairs, some skeletons, big set of stairs, some skeletons, some more wood, the other part of that bell. You can see it on the other side. And that's pretty much it. We have, oh, this is interesting. They look like tortured devices that people died in, so they're now just skulls inside of them. That's weird, but yeah, I like the detail. I like the quantity of terrain. There's a lot of terrain sprues, so it's going to take a lot of time to put together. That scares me a little bit because my friends really want to start playing. They're really excited about this game, and I have it now, so I'm going to start building it, and by the time it releases, hopefully I'll have everything assembled. I don't think I'll have everything painted, but at least assembled. I think I can do that. So we have 6 sprues, 7. We have 7 sprues of terrain, and that's a lot. That is going to be a complete kill zone for this set, and it's going to pretty much cover the whole board, and I'm very excited about that. I think I'm very excited about that, and I'm looking forward to putting it together, and I hope you enjoyed watching me unbox all of this, and if you liked it, I hope you get it, because it might sell out like the one from Kill Team did. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching and that it was informative for you to see if you really want this game or not. I think it's going to be a great value to get it just because of all of the terrain and the miniatures, and I think it's going to sell out like the one from Kill Team did, just because it's so much great stuff in one box. It has everything you need to play, and as we've seen, the miniatures look pretty good. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you like it, please like the video, comment on it, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos in the future. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.